Okay, welcome to the show, Working with Wood. I think this is about our fourth program in the hot dog cart build. But anyway, we're getting through her. I'll just pan the camera and show you what we're at now. So you can see we have the tin in. This is our stove box. The tin's all in. The top is secured to the cart. What else did we do? We're going to put our stove in now and secure it. And then we might, I think what we'll do is go work on the water system. Putting in the gray water tank and the fresh water tank. The pump. We won't be able to do the hot water heater yet, but we may get into the sinks and that. But anyway, let's put our stove in. Okay, welcome back. Well, we're really coming along with this hot dog cart. We got the the stove box all sheeted in with tin. You can see it's all tin in there, so I'll show you how the stove fits in. We still got some work to do. We have to cut a hole for the gas line to come through to the stove. Okay, so you can see the stove fits in here like this. It'll be secured in. Now what's going to happen here, there's going to be a flap that goes down over the stove for when it's traveling. When we come and we set up, this door flap that's going to go over the stove is going to rise up, and it's going to give us about another foot of counter space on top. Okay, so over here, this area right here, this is where our sinks are going to go. Our sinks are up here. I already plumbed them in. So now all we have to do is cut the hole, set the sinks down in, caulk it so they stay there. In here, we started cutting our supports, our nailers for our piece of plywood to go in here for the bread box. Then we're going to have another shelf here, so a shelf on the bottom, shelf here. When we get going, we'll put the camera in the front so you can see. We got our gray water and our fresh water tanks in there. They're not installed yet, but we'll be installing them maybe next show. So right now what we're going to do, another thing that we did is we put linoleum down on the floor. The main thing about having anything like a food cart or a concession booth that the health inspectors want is so it can be washable. Everything has to be washable. It can't be bare wood. Painted wood, they say painted wood's okay, but I don't know. I like stainless steel on a surface, like a countertop surface. I like linoleum, any type of floor. It's easy to clean. It's, you can disinfect it good and stuff like that, because the thing is with these carts, you're feeding to quite a few people. You want the service to be, the food to come from a clean cart. Anyway, so what we're going to do, we're going to cut this this hole in the top for the sink, and we're going to install the sink. Okay, we got our saw ready here, our jigsaw, so let's cut the hole. Okay, there we are. Just that easy. There's our sinks installed. So now what we're going to do is we're going to install our faucets right here. So what's going to happen is our sinks are all plumbed in. We're going to caulk this. Once we put the stainless steel on the top. So but the holes cut, the sinks fit perfect, like it couldn't be any better. This faucets go here. It's going to be a faucet that'll hit every sink. Now what we'll do is they're all plumbed in together for the drain. We'll have one line going back into the gray water tank. No problems. This water here will have a pump underneath with a battery. It'll pump out of the fresh water. Now the cold will come directly from the fresh water to the tap. The hot will run through the hot water heater. We may put the hot water heater over here, but I'm still planning on putting it on the back, probably on this side, since we put the sinks here. But anyway, the sinks are in. Now we'll get the taps and drill the hole for the taps. Okay, here's our taps here. So what we did, we measured for the taps. We drilled our holes. So now what we'll do is we'll just dry fit the taps. We can't put nothing in until we put the stainless steel top on, but we want it to see if it's all cut even. So there's the taps. The taps are here. You can see they hit every sink, which we need 3 sinks in the cart. We need a hand washing sink. We need a sink to wash the dishes, and a sink to rinse the dishes. Now what I might do is I have an extra sink, I think, and another set of taps. I think I might put a sink in the front. So the hand washing sink is away from a distance away from the sink that we're doing our dishes in. The sinks only have to be big enough to do whatever you're using for dishes. So in a hot dog cart, we use a pair of tongs, like the tweezer type things to turn over the hot dogs or the hamburgers. We might use a couple of spoons. We might use, I don't know, maybe a spatula, like to flip the burgers or whatever. But there's no big dishes. There's no big pots or no big pans. So everything that can be washed can fit in these sinks to be washed. So anyway, that's right on. So the front of our cart now is our steam tables is here. Our cooler is here. And our sinks are here. Like I say, here, this is going to flop up. Right here, we're going to have a foot. This will be a foot down to here. So when we're traveling, this is going to flop down and cover our stove. Even though the stove is secured in there, you know, we don't want the rain or dust and that to get in on our stove. So it's going to flop down over top. When we get to where we're going to start serving food, this flap here is going to come up. It's going to give us another foot on our countertop for getting our hot dogs ready, or working, you know, getting our hot hamburgers and stuff like that ready. So anyway, so now what we're going to work on is we're going to work on the bread box. We cut some nailers. I got some installed. What we're going to do is we're going to cut the rest of the nailers. We're going to install them. We're going to cut a sheet of plywood to use for the floor, this bottom shelf in there. And what we're going to do is we're going to cut linoleum. We got some extra linoleum, and we'll glue that down on there. Be a nice cleanable surface. Then we're going to put nailers here to set our top shelf on. So the top shelf, we want to be able to fit a can of pop in there. Our buns will fit in there, you know, and stuff like that. So we'll put a shelf about here for the top. But right now we'll put our nailers in and we'll install that bottom shelf. So here's our nailer that's going to go here. We got one in here. We got these two already installed. So what we'll do is we'll take a screw and we'll start it in there, and then we'll install this. Okay, so there's our nailers. So what's going to happen now is we got a nice surface to put our plywood on. What we'll do is measure it up. We'll take her and cut her through the table saw and install it. Okay, so we're going to measure for our for the bottom shelf of the bed box. So what we're looking at here is 37 1/4 and 37 1/4. What we'll do is measure from the outside to the front of this 2x2 here. What we got there is 14 3/4 on this side. Should be the same on this side. 14 3/4. So we got 14 3/4 by 37 by 37. 14 3/4 by 37. Okay, we'll measure that out and cut it off. Okay, there's our bottom shelf in for the bread box. Fits just perfect. So what we're going to do is we're going to install this. What we'll do is, I think when we run our linoleum in here, there's a 2-inch lip here between the deck here and the bread box. So we'll run our linoleum right down, tack it to this 2-inch lip, and then when we put our stainless steel on here, we can caulk that very nice finished look. So anyway, what we're going to do now is we're going to screw this down, and we'll install the lifts for the top. Okay, there's the shelf secured in. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put our for the top shelf in. So we got them cut here. We should have 5. We got 4, so we're going to need another one somewhere. So they're going to go like this, right here. Just like that. Okay, there's our rises in. So what we're going to do now is we're going to cut our shelf. Our shelf will set on top of these, and that'll give us the 2 shelves that we need. So anyway, we'll cut the shelf out. Okay, so we got our shelves in. We got our bottom shelf in our bread box. We got the top shelf in our bread box. Like I say, this is our buns will fit in there. Chocolate bars, chips, maybe. I don't think we'll put any pop in there, but just you know what we're selling. It's a great. We got to have storage. One thing about health inspectors, they want storage. Well, this cart's got lots of storage. We got our buns up here. We got a cooler for our hot dogs and burgers. We got storage underneath here. We got storage under the center of the cart. The front of the cart's where our fresh and gray water is going to be. Our pump's going to be in there. The battery for the pump. Hot water heater on the outside. So the cart's really coming. Like it's really really looking good. This is a great place to put the sinks. They fit perfect in there. It's just beautiful. Our taps are here. I was going to put them in the front of the cart like I mentioned before, but this is so much better. You know, everything's so close together. Works great. You know, our cooler's right here. Our steam tables are here. Our barbecue is going to be on the side of the cart. It's going to work out very, very well. Like, it's really coming together great. So now what we're going to start doing is we got to plumb in our water. So we'll plumb our drains in, stuff like that. Plumb in our water lines. Then we're going to sheet the cart in. Once we're done all the work inside the cart, we'll start sheeting the cart in, because then it's so easy to, we don't need to get into the inside. We're going to put a drain on gray water. It's got a valve on it. So what we're going to do is we're going to put maybe a 3-inch piece of rubber hose on there, drill a hole in the bottom of the cart. So what's going to happen is when we drain our water, all we do is just put a pail underneath, turn that valve open, it drains right down. We don't have to take the gray water, the container out of the cart at all. It can stay right in the cart. So anyway, the cart's coming along great. We're going to paint this stuff up in here. We're going to put linoleum on these shelves. Then, like I say, we'll plumb it in. We should be pretty well ready to sheet the cart in. Here we're going to have clamps. We got the umbrella, the big red umbrella that's going to go here up on this side. It's going to be very, very nice. Anyways, let's start continue working on our hot dog cart.